Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, May 14th. I'm feeling good. I had a good workout. This week is my week to just do cardio, take a week off. So I'm going to the gym twice a day to do some running, some jogging, cardio, coffee. I've also taken out granulated sugar out of my diet, which is tremendously huge for me. I'm gonna start off today. I came across this interesting story. I like finding stuff that is stupid and odd and weird. Came across this news story and kind of made me just like think, what is wrong? Why people they just happen to spot him? And it's just crazy to me how you just gonna. I guess he was craving for attention, and either that or he didn't realize that they were actually a news crew. I mean, I guess you could see a dog napper and pretend that you're not the news crew, and it's just crazy how people just they don't think before they act, especially in the commission of a crime. I can find stories, because I used to, before my disability took over, I was in college. I wanted to be a criminal profiler, so of course I studied criminal justice, and before I decided on criminal profile, I was heading towards a lawyer. And again, I read a bunch of stuff, and I came across good few bit of stupid criminal stories in my life. I mean, really some that take the cake, and I might start touching on that one or two stories every week. And this story also reminds me of what happened to Lady Gaga. The guy that got shot, the woman that turned into dogs was part of the ring that stole them. It goes to show you that some people, money will make you do strange things. What I want to talk about today is how we hold ourselves accountable for our actions, and another thing after that, I want to talk about how I'm dealing with my control issues. When we set a goal and we intentionally sabotage that goal, we should hold ourselves responsible and accountable for our actions. When there's something that we don't intentionally, when we do something like, you say you want to lose 5 pounds in a month and you only lose 4, and something happened out of your control, then you can't really hold yourself too accountable, because some things, it goes hand in hand. When you set goals, whether it's lifting weights, walking more, buying something you want, whatever goal it is, holding ourselves accountable for our actions no matter what. When we do things intentionally, we should own up to it no matter what. You take whatever it is that handed down to you, because you can't live life on what ifs. You can't live life on regrets. You can't say, well, I wish I would have did this different. Maybe there would have been a different outcome. You can't live like that, because it's going to, in my opinion, because I'm no expert, it's going to just make your life miserable. You just learn from it, just in case you have to come into that situation again. Hopefully it doesn't put you in a situation again to where you have to make the same decision twice in your life, because that would just be terrible. I mean, it would. Oh, ignore the cup, it's my wife's, but I like it. So again, when we put ourselves in a situation and hold ourselves accountable for our actions, it goes hand in hand with how you control. I'm a control freak. I have never been afraid to talk about it or admit it or insights about it. People can ask me questions. I have to have absolute control of everything in my life. I am learning slowly to let some things go that I can't control. Like, for instance, when I'm driving, I can't control other drivers. I can only control my actions. Little things like that. It's hard. I love my wife. I would tell anybody that she is the best thing that's happened to me, but I still can't let her drive because of the control issues I have. And before, people's like, oh, you have trust issues. Yes and no. If I could afford it, I would have my groceries delivered to the house, but I wouldn't have them pick my meat or my vegetables or my fruits, because I don't trust when it comes to that. Now, canned goods and stuff like that, whatever's on the list, they're going to grab it. And now they have it where they can shoot you some kind of message to say, do you want to substitute this for that? And again, when it comes to the meat, produce, and vegetables, I'd rather pick that out myself. That's trust and control. And I do have trust issues, and I do have control issues, and I'm not going to be afraid to admit that. But there's a lot of things we can't control, and I'm learning to get better at it, to not let certain things bother me that I can't control. If I'm expecting a package or a certain mail from somebody, that part of my control I can't control, because it's out of my hands, and I can get frustrated, I can get aggravated, but it ain't gonna do nothing but drive me insane and crazy waiting for something. I don't know how long I've had the control issue. Could probably date it back to when I'm 12, 11, 10 years old, things like that. It's hard to give up control for me. It basically is like somebody that has real severe anxiety, and if they walk into a room with more than 10 people and it freaks them out, I get like that when I have to give up control. It's crazy. It's a crazy feeling when you have no choice. That's why I couldn't join the military. I have nothing against the Army, the Navy, Air Force, Marines. I have nothing against that at all. I mean, they signed up to defend this country that doesn't even defend them when they get out, but that's for another day. I just couldn't have somebody in my face yelling at me during boot camp, and I'm not afraid at all of things like that. I can't handle it. I just don't like somebody in my face. So control and trust, I do think the more that I think about it, they go hand in hand. I never thought about that till you're talking about it now, that how close of a relationship that them two traits have in common. Control and trust issues. It makes sense now that I think about it. I don't trust people enough, so I have to control my actions. And again, I'm not a psychotherapist, a psychoanalyst, a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. I am none of that. So everything I'm talking about is just my opinion and the things that I understand about it. So don't go trying to say that I'm, giving you accurate information, because I don't know what's accurate and what's not, because I'm not trying to quote somebody's article. Another note, real quick, I'm almost 3 months without cigarettes or vape. My wife is 5 months or 6 months. We're doing good. Now I can smell cigarettes and it stinks. I'm trying to think of things that I can do to bring attention to things that's going on. That's why we ask to email us, to respond to us, give us your questions or anything you want us to talk about that you may not want to talk about, because for some odd reason you just don't want to be on video and do a channel. But that's neither here nor there. I've always said controversy brings about conversation. Without conversation, things don't get talked about, and I solely believe that. Some hot button issues, if they're not talked about, there's not going to find no resolution for it. And I believe that you have to talk about it, no matter how bad it can be. It's got to be discussed. It's got to be talked about, because if you don't, things don't get resolved. That's just my opinion. I mean, everybody has their opinion and they're welcome to it. Again, like I said, if you don't talk about it, there's not going to be about resolution. Sometimes things get taken to the extreme to get the word out. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I mean, everybody's got their own way of dealing with things. So again, controversy brings conversation. So if you're afraid to talk about a subject, I don't know why. I'm not. I will talk about things that I'm passionate about, things that I'm not passionate about, things that I want to understand, things that I don't understand, because I'm always willing to listen. Always willing to listen to what people has to say. No matter how I feel about it, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. I'm willing to listen. And that's what the problem is. People don't want to listen to what other people's opinions or discussion, and I think that's stupid. Example, I'm not religious, but if somebody wants to talk about religion, I'll listen. And if they ask me for my opinion, I'll give them my opinion, as long as they don't try to convert me to be religious. That's where I draw the line. As far as that goes, that's where I draw the line when it comes to religion. I'm independent. I'm not a Democrat or Republican, but I'll discuss politics, but don't try to push your agenda on me. I'll listen to anything. I'll listen to anybody. Anybody's got something to say, I'll listen. Just don't try to push your thoughts and your agenda on me. You can talk about your opinions and how you feel about things all day long, but don't try to tell me I should follow your narrative. There's a wrestler out there, I'm a big wrestling fan, and he's got this thing where he says, control your narrative. In a way, you can control your narrative to a certain point, to a certain extent. So again, that's it for me today. So like, subscribe, share, questions, opinions, interact with us, people. Come on, we are trying here. Work with us. And also, see my shirt? Please have a good day, have a good weekend, and talk to y'all later.